Welcome to a very special edition of Sports Night. We still have the fall season to wrap up and do the review next week. But this week, a very special guest with Howie and I. We welcome Todd Gutterman, the new coach for Champlain Park Coon Rapids girls hockey. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
First of all, you're a couple of weeks in to, you've had tryouts and a couple of weeks of practices ready to drop the puck opening night on Thursday. Your thoughts on the first couple of weeks?
I would say exceeded expectations. It's a great group of young ladies. We went up to Rapids this past weekend, and the girls played outstanding. They played their butts off exactly how I expected them to, and it showed. They competed with some really good teams and put some teams on notice. So,
Coach, I know when you were at Forest Lake, you wanted to make sure that you had excellent teams on your schedule to play. I know you opened with Wayzata. Talk a little bit about your philosophy on how you want your girls to be able to play those teams that are in the top 10 in the state.
So we don't change how we play. We need to have them change to our style. So we're not going to, I don't care if it's Minnetonka, Wayzata, or who it is, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to come at them and we're going to play. And you know what, might end up with a couple goals in the back of our net, but we have to learn to play the right way no matter who we're playing, because we're not playing for right now, we're playing for February. So, and that's the ultimate goal.
Now, while you were at Forest Lake, 6 seasons, you went to 5 section finals, 2 state tournaments, had 3 conference championships. What types of things does a program need to have that type of success?
I think the biggest thing is it's a culture and an attitude. And I was very fortunate there. I had some super talented hockey players. A good portion of those girls are playing college hockey right now and having a lot of success in the college ranks. But at the same point, you have to show up with an attitude every day that and believe that you have a chance no matter who's on the other bench. And if you don't have that belief, you might as well not even show up to the rink. And the nice thing with that group that came through is they had that belief coming in, and then we only built on it.
I know one of your pillars of your coaching, from what I watched, is effort. And every time that the girls step on the ice, 100% effort. Talk a little bit about your program and how you're getting the girls in shape and in conditioning to be able to be as strong in the first period as they are, or in the third period as they are in the first period.
It's I don't think it's a unique philosophy. It's pretty basic, but I'm not going to say you do a ton of conditioning at the end. You condition for the entire hour and a half you're on the ice. Between every drill, there's hard laps. We finish every drill with a hard back check. So every time we're doing any rep, there's effort, and they're gonna push themselves, and they're gonna, it's easier to condition them that way because it's just part of the process. Then, hey, let's line up for the last 10 minutes and just condition, because then their mindset is different. During the practice, it's just a whole different mindset. It's part of the process, like I said.
And of course, Howie touched on it a little bit earlier about the non-conference opponents, but a strong conference that you play in here. Where do you see your team matching up against the Maple Groves and the Andovers?
I'm anxious. Obviously, Andover, graduated a lot last year, but they retooled. They had a freshman class come in that went 44-0 last year at 15A and won a state tournament. So they're not going to be missing much. They're going to come right back and be the same team they were. Maple Grove's always good. Elk River's there. We saw Elk River up in Rapids, and it was a battle. They have some really good players. We have some really good players. It was a fun game. So.
Yeah, you saw some really nice competition up there.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some players that, that little Mercury Bischoff, she's a freshman from Grand Rapids, and I think she's over 100 points already in her high school career. And, Maddie Christian from, so there's a lot of good players up there. It was interesting on Sunday because we had a little bit of a schedule mix-up, so we ended up rolling our JV primarily out against War Roads varsity. So you're talking the number 1 or 2 team in Class A. And it was 6-0, which to me is a victory. Those girls played hard.
I bet they did.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your staff that you're bringing here with, and some of the people that are coming in and what they offer to the program.
Yeah, so right now we have Vince Stevens. He's a buddy of mine from Forest Lake. He's actually a Champlain alum, and I coached his son last year. and he's coached my son in the past. He's super passionate about hockey, has a great hockey IQ. It's great with the kids. So Vince is going to be a big addition. And then we have Neil Sawyer right now, he's at the Champlain Park School. And like I said, he's our full-time goalie coach and then our head JV coach. So them are the two main right now, and we're still working on rounding it out.
So what do you know about what this program was up until this point, and what changes will fans see as far as how they play, or will they see?
You know, I can't speak for how they played in the past. But like I said multiple times, we're going to be super aggressive in your face, and that's just my style. I will say that, you know, for whatever reason, I've been told this is a program that's never got out of the first round in playoffs. And that's our first goal, is to end that this year and see how far we can go from there. But like I said, to me, it just comes back to an attitude and expectation, knowing we can do it.
What are some of the things you've liked that you've seen from the girls so far, and obviously in practice and in the scrimmages from last Saturday?
You know, from a practice standpoint, their attitude. They show up, they're hungry, they're willing to work. I think that a lot of times when you come in and you give that elite effort speech, a lot of people say yeah, but then when you have to go execute, maybe not so much, and the girls are executing. They're all over working hard right now, and I think that's the biggest thing that I took away from up in Rapids, is we outworked every team we played. You know, I know a lot of those coaches from playing against them in past years. Grand Rapids, you know, we played them 6 straight years in playoffs. When I was at Forest Lake, Elk River, we played them every year because they were in our playoffs, and their coaches were very, very complimentary of our girls.
What will be the greatest challenge for this team to get to that point, to getting to that next round, to pushing themselves, to get to that, over that hump, so to speak?
I think it's a belief. You know, I think, I'm not saying that they don't believe it, but there's a blocker somewhere that has prevented it from happening, because, you know, when we got on the rink yesterday, we looked and there's 2 conference championships up there and didn't get out of the first round either one of those years. So I think both were overtime losses. So that happens. You can run into a hot goalie, things can happen. But that can start to sink in, right? And it can start to go after your belief a little bit. So, you know, and the tough part with us is our schedule, right? Wins are always important, but like I said, we don't chase wins. We want to get these girls ready. So we're going to have to get them to believe they can win, even though there's some times where maybe we're not winning through stretches. But we could too. We'll see. I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out.
One of the things I liked, a number of things I liked, and when you were talking, is that every player must earn a spot, and there's nobody given anything. Talk about how the girls have reacted to that everybody's on the same level. Everyone has to earn a spot on the roster.
You know, some handle it better than others. We made some tough decisions up in Rapids. Sent some players down to a JV game that didn't expect to be put in a JV game. But the best thing about it was, I went and talked to Neil after that game, and I said, all I need to know is how they respond. And he said they scored on their first and their third shift. So they responded. They went, and it's the same thing. I tell girls, listen, if you end up somewhere where you don't believe you should be, your job is to go show me I made a mistake, because I'll make a lot of them. I'm not perfect, right? Now go prove me wrong.
Well, we are looking forward to hopefully proving you right all season long. We look forward to covering the girls throughout the year. Thank you so much for joining us. All of our upcoming is girls hockey. We have the season opener hosting Wayzata at the Crick on Thursday. We'll be at Buffalo next Tuesday. And then on Saturday, over at the Ice Forum hosting the Blaine Bengals. But Coach, again, thanks for joining us here tonight. We want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young saying good night.